Hi everyone, Matthew Hurley of Jim Hurley's Network, back to talk to you after our third straight Easy Football winner. You cashed with us Sunday night on the New York Jets over Cincinnati 27-7. You cashed with us Monday night on the Giants over Chicago 41-13. Then Thursday night, you cashed again with Philadelphia over Cleveland 24-14. It was 24-0 until the Browns scored a garbage, meaningless touchdown at the end of the game. The first-team Philadelphia defense dominated Cleveland just like we thought they would. Now we're off to a 60% start for the preseason on all plays here at Jim Hurley's Network. We're doing better than that on the biggest unit plays we've had. Those were our three biggest winners. And our strongest play from all, the NFL preseason game of the year, is coming up this weekend. We're going to go on more on that in a moment. The last time we were together, I talked about how dress rehearsal weekend is a time of extremes. Well, today I want to explain how the exclusive team handicapping approach at Jim Hurley's Network finds the games where those extremes are most likely to happen. First, we start with our team power ratings. We've updated all our numbers from the end of last season, accounting for personnel changes, coaching changes, and the intangibles that could influence improvement or collapses. Now, the first 2 weeks of the preseason, power ratings were worthless. They're based on the starters, and the starters don't play much in those first two games. Here in dress rehearsal week, those power ratings will give us a very good picture of what's going to happen in the first 3 quarters of that game against the soft lines we're seeing on the board in Vegas right now. That's a big edge right here. Our power ratings have isolated a few one-sided games where the Vegas spread is way too conservative. Our high power rating suggests Philadelphia should have been at least -10 versus Cleveland. Rather, they were -7. That's where it ended up after the garbage time touchdown. Now, secondly, we run and trust our computer simulations. Our state-of-the-art software can play every regular season game 1,000 times to account for every possibility. In the first 2 weeks of the preseason, computer projections are simply garbage in, garbage out. Way too many variables, way too many unknown quantities. Here in week 3, you can trust the computer simulations to give you a real strong reading on the starters versus the starter action. And let me tell you, our simulations found a couple of gems still ahead this week. Thirdly, we work very close with our scouts and sources all across the country to gauge the mindset of every head coach out there. Some want impressive wins this week to set up a home tone for the season. Others want a few sharp series from their starting offense, nothing more, but they don't care much what happens after that. And still, there are typically that handful of coaches who still keep things real vanilla because they don't want to show too much anything upcoming to their opponents. They scoop from that scouts, and the sources are worth their weight in gold this time of year. Now, Thursday night, we were confident that Cleveland's offense would be more worried about avoiding the injuries than they were about putting points on the board. And you saw that with your own eyes if you watched the game. Now, each of those elements by themselves can be very valuable when trying to find a big money play. Look for games with large power rating differentials and throw out the rest. Look for games the computer loves and throw out the rest. Look for games with big differences in coaching and priorities and throw out the rest. That gives you a small set of options for your clients to represent the very best of the best bets in Las Vegas betting. Now, when all three agree on the same team, that's a game of the year right there. And our top 3 plays of the preseason have already hit. I mean, again, Cleveland covered against Green Bay back in week 1. And you already know what the Giants and the Eagles did in the last 2 TV games. Now, our preseason game of the year grades out to be even stronger than any of those moneymakers I just mentioned there. And we can promise a 4-touchdown win like we have with the Giants. But what I can promise is a 24-0 lead in the fourth quarter like we have with the Eagles. Can't promise that either. You can't always count on the block punts or the bonus turnovers to help pad your victory margin. But what I can assure you beyond a shadow of a doubt is that our single biggest grading of the year, meaning it is a game that every single one of you should be playing. Now, you can purchase this monster here at the website with your credit card on game day. Sign up for any of our longer-term football packages, and the game of the year will be included at no additional charge. Now, that game is $35 on the website with your credit card. And again, with the full season purchase, it's absolutely free to you. Now, I'm going to be back again Monday to review the full football weekend and set the stage for the long-awaited start of college football. It's less than 1 week away. So do me a favor, do your best to steer clear of Hurricane Irene this weekend. Wish you all be safe from that on the East Coast. I hope you'll spend some quality time with us here at Jim Hurley's Network. So I'm going to see you next time. And in the meantime, let's get the money and be safe.